Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss Scream 6 and the clues in the movie that point to Stu Macher and his continued involvement in the current films. Now I did a video last year on the clues for Stu in Scream 5, and this video is a continuation, but for Scream 6. Now, if the idea is to bring Stu back in Scream 7, then the writers would want that to be a surprise for everyone. Thus, the clues you would expect to see would be subtle, yet noticeable, not overtly obvious. Just as in Scream 5, there are a few clues that meet that criteria in 6, and I'm going to highlight those clues for Stu right now. Let's go! So I will share 5 clues in this video that I believe point to Stu Macher being present and involved in the events of Scream 6. Now, there's one scene in particular that has within it 2 clues pointing to Stu. And that scene is where Gale is attacked in her apartment. It is entirely possible that this attack was carried out by Stu Macher. Now, why do I think that? Okay, that's the big question, obviously. And in my estimation, there's 2 clues pointing to Stu. Clue number 1, the Ghostface caller ID on Gale's phone when she gets the call in her bedroom, I guess it was, her second room, is area code 707, which, if you're not aware, is a Woodsboro area code. Now, this makes it very, very unique, guys. It's not a caller ID with a different number or an unknown number, or like we saw, of course, Richie Kirsch on Sam's phone. Obviously, Gale's not going to have Richie's phone number in her phone, so it won't show that. But you got to remember, Richie's not from Woodsboro, guys. He's not. He didn't live in Woodsboro, and he was out there with Sam in Modesto. And so he was not in Woodsboro at all. If he lived in Woodsboro, then maybe you can make the case. That's not the case here. And so this is the one time in the film where we get to see an area code 707, which again points us back to Woodsboro. Something to at least pay attention to. Could definitely be a clue that this is roots of this Ghostface killer is from Woodsboro. Now, the second clue in the Gale Attack scene is that I believe points to Stu is the way Ghostface attempted the final stab of Gale. You gotta remember now, when she's on the floor at this point, she's already been stabbed, I think 2 or 3 times. She's on the floor. Ghostface is on top of her. And what does he do? He grips the knife with both hands and raises his arms above his head and then comes down with the knife. Now you got to remember, in Scream 1, this was Stu's style of attacking. It was hands over the head coming down. I mean, one scene I can tell you right now off the top of my head. Remember when Randy was in the living room by himself in the whole behind you scene? Remember that. That's Stu. And what does Stu do when he's standing behind Randy? He raises his arms up with holding the knife with both hands. That is Stu Macher's style. We see it again here in Scream 6 when the attack is going on Gale. So it's very possible that Stu was going to intend to kill Gale once and for all. He tried before, did not succeed. So now he's going to finish what he started in 96 and attempt to try to kill her in 6, which we know she survived. So if indeed this is Stu, he's got a real vendetta for her when he returns in 7, because That's twice she's escaped. So those are 2 of the 5 clues right there from that one scene. Now, the next clue is one that I know all of you heard if you've seen the movie and picked up on. And of course, it's the Kirby and Mindy scene in the shrine. And I love that the radio silence and the writing team had this in the movie so that they let us know that Stu being alive is a thing in the actual Scream universe or Stab universe as well. And so what do we have? We have Kirby and Mindy talking. And Kirby makes the statement. They look at the TV in the shrine and she says, it's the TV that killed Stu Macher. And what does Mindy say? She says, quote, if you believe he's dead. And then Kirby turns and looks at Mindy with this curious look on her face, almost as if Mindy is onto something. And Kirby knows more than she's revealing. Be very interested to see if indeed they explore that any further. But clearly, Mindy believes that Stu Macher is alive, the way she said it, if you believe he's dead. Now, she could have just been saying that, speaking up for others, maybe not herself. But it seemed like the way she said it is that she does believe he's alive. That's where I took from it. But that either way, you can make the argument if it doesn't really matter. The point is she made that statement. That's what really matters about it. So we know that not just in our Scream world out here in the real world, guys, rather, but the Scream Stab world in the movie also, as we got the Easter egg in Scream 5, is the real life Stu Macher alive, or did he survive? Same thing. It is very much alive and flowing. So I guess there's someone conducting the Stu train or in the Stab world as I'm doing it here in our Scream world. All right, clue number 4 that Stu Macher is involved is the Principal Hembree sketch in the shrine. Now, guys, this one really is interesting. So we have this sketch that was from the shrine of Principal Hembree. And what do we know from Scream 1? Randy gets the phone call in Stu's house and says that they found Principal Hembree hung up by the goalpost, gutted. And remember, like everybody in the house essentially bails out and says, oh, we got to go see it before they take him down. They all leave. That's how he was found. But look what we have here at the bottom. We have a perfectly drawn image of Principal Hembree on the floor from his principal's office. No one would have seen this, guys, except if they were there. Gale would not have seen this image. I mean, it's perfect. Look at that. They would not know that. All they would know is that he was on the football field, gutted. So who drew this perfect sketch from what happened in Scream 1996? I'll tell you who. It was Stu Macher. No one else was there that would know this. Billy's dead. There's no way they would have this sketch like that, guys. Think about that. This is like a crime scene photo, but there was no, his body wasn't on the floor. It was on the goalpost. So whoever drew this actually had it was an eyewitness rather to the event in the office. I mean, I guess you could try to make the case that it was Fred, the janitor, but that doesn't add up either. It just doesn't make any sense. If that's the case, he would have saw them taking the body. So that one right there, guys, is pretty compelling evidence that Stu is still alive, that he's the one that did this sketch. All right, think about that one. That's pretty compelling. And then now, finally, clue number 5, and this is a bit more of a brain thinker here. Makes you think about this, but it makes sense. Is Quinn's reveal in the shrine when she comes back to life, and she mentions that she's wearing Stu's mask. Since Stu is her favorite, she's wearing his mask. Well, think about this. She's wearing Stu's mask, and she faked her death and came back. Could this be a subtle clue that Stu is still alive after faking his death too? It could be mirroring this, guys. Again, they're not going to airmail it in the movie that Stu's alive. It's going to be subtle like this because they're going to want it to be a surprise to as many people as possible. But I think that's something to really consider. It's like, oh, nothing's coincidental, guys. Not in the Scream world. And actually in most things in life, I don't believe in coincidences. But, they're writing this on purpose. And you've got a killer in the movie who fakes their death and happens to be wearing Stu Macher's mask. I think it could have a dual meaning, guys. It could mean literally what it was in the movie, and it could also mean here regarding Stu that he also faked his death and he's coming back the same way she did. He'll be back as well. So those are my 5 clues in Scream 6 that are pointing to Stu Macher's involvement. Now, I want to know, what do you think about these clues? And I also want to know, what are your thoughts, ideas, and theories, and any other clues you may have found that point to Stu Macher, or that I missed or don't remember it. Let me know all of those things in the comment section below. Let me know thoughts, ideas, theories, and clues, so we can start discussing it as the Stu train gets ready to come out. Keeping it going. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this update, but I'm going to be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thank you for watching.